welcome to Bonaire EDFL TV for another week down at downtown Airport West. It's EDFL House and we're in the boardroom. I'm Michael Pell and this is Matthew Pelios, newly converted to the Twitter scene last week. It was trending late in the week. Get Matt Pelios on Twitter and he's done it.
Great to be on Twitter, MP Junior. Great to be here at the EDFL. Fantastic round of EDFL football. All the Twitter fans at Matthew Pelios. It's fantastic to be speaking with all the EDFL fans. And on Twitter, your social networking.
How are you enjoying the new scene? It's a bit different to Facebook.
It is. Look, I'm a bit of a Facebook junkie for the family pictures and that, so Twitter's good to actually be talking about footy and other hobbies that we all follow. But EDFL footy's been massive, mate. How's the week been?
Yep, it's been pretty good. We concluded Premier Division this week.
The
split round it was, and there's a few big ramifications out of it, especially in Premier Division, with Keilor getting over Avondale Heights by 38 points and Maribyrnong Park going down to Aberfeldy by 15 points. Those two teams, we could really see them two. They're probably the logical favourites to fight it out for fourth spot. Then you've got Oak Park, who also got a win over Craigieburn. They put themselves now in the same points as Maribyrnong Park in fifth spot.
Yeah, look, interesting round. Maribyrnong Park really probably blew to the opportunity to cement fourth position, and Keilor's fantastic start against Avondale Heights, a side that beat them in the first turn and probably could have cost Keilor an early spot. But Keilor playing great footy at the moment. Micah James, Jared Garth, Van Reet, Joyce, but even the homegrowns. Papalia's really come good now. He had that injury last year. He's getting better and better by the game. Moore was very good as well. They were fantastic. And Daniel Cooper as well, another guy had a long-term injury. So they're just getting better by the season, and they have Marby this week at Marby Park. So it's going to be a cracking game.
Yep, big games. Let's just have a look at the ladder as it stands. Of course, we've got the 1 and 2, Strathmore, Greenvale, Aberfeldy. Well, they're 3 games clear, so they've sewed up third spot.
Great win at Marby on the weekend by Aberfeldy after Marby started well. Low-scoring game.
And then we've got fourth spot, Maribyrnong Park, ahead of Oak Park on percentage. 1 game back Keilor, and then 1 game back Pascoe, who are still, you give them every chance of making the 4 Pascoe. This is their run home. Avondale Heights, Maribyrnong Park, Keilor, and Aberfeldy.
Look, the form they're in at the moment, Avondale Heights have got them at Avondale. They'll be seething that loss to Avondale early in the season at their home ground. But look, if they get through that, they've got Maribyrnong Park. That could be a game for fourth position. And Pascoe are the informed side out of probably the sides outside the top 3.
Yeah.
And would probably be the side that really has... They pushed Strathmore this round, and they would be the side at the moment in form who could potentially knock off Aberfeldy in an elimination final.
And Oak Park play Maribyrnong Park in round 18.
And could be again for the fourth position. So fantastic that the top 4 isn't all cemented at this time, as it was last year, I reckon.
100%, no doubt. Let's just look at the round 15 clashes for this week. The first one, Strathmore versus Essendon Stars.
2 sides that have great rivalry, don't like each other. Strathmore, week off, more physical bodies and mature bodies. Essendon Stars had a great season, but this is just too much out of their grasp. But it'll be a cracking game. Essendon Stars, well done on a great season on the field.
Yep, credit goes to Marcus Barham there. Greenvale versus Oak Park is the next one. Oak Park's depth is being really tested. A lot of younger guys playing at the minute, and a lot of guys that are really good junior footballers, as well as now A reserve footballers for Oak Park. Of course, they won the premiership last year in A grade reserves. Now needing to make the step up and commit for the senior side.
And Pedley, what happened last year was that they won the flag in the reserves. They probably lost a dozen of those reserves players to other clubs, got poached, and a few of them went overseas.
Smart recruiting.
Yeah, looking exactly right. They were a very strong reserve side last year, so they just don't have the depth with the injuries that they've had with the overseas players and the losses that they've had. I think even Robbie Ryan broke his collarbone as well a couple of weeks ago. I hope he gets better. But Oak Park, they're going to find it tough here against Greenvale. They've actually beaten Greenvale a couple of times in the last few years, but Greenvale with the week off as well, I think will give them a good touch-up, and they're starting to get a few players from injury. Aberfeldy
play Craigieburn, and they should continue Mel Michael's winning streak since he's taken over as coach.
What a great coach he is. Perfect record, 100%. Really good win in a physical game, so they may come out of the blocks a bit slow, Aberfeldy. Low-scoring game on a smaller Marby ground, but they'll be too good for Craigieburn, who probably had their chance last week, and well done on a solid game with the Craigieburn Footy Club last week.
Talked about Avondale Heights versus Pascoe, a massive game here for the Panthers.
Yeah, look, Panthers fighting for a top 4. I don't think they'll drop this game, but Avondale Heights, that sort of side, their upside so good.
No doubt.
And you never know, at home, look, they were good a couple of weeks ago, and they could be good. Again, it's pretty mental sometimes for Chris Johnson's boys. They were terrible against Aberfeldy, so their consistency, if they can get it right this week, they'll be closer. I'll tip Paco just.
And the EDFL Match of the Day broadcast, 98.9 Northwest FM from 2 p.m. Teo Palaziri leading the charge as usual.
Him and Weaver, great standard.
On fire.
Mate,
On fire.
I love listening to Teo and Chrissy Weaver.
It is Maribyrnong Park versus Keilor, 2 games in a row for Marby Park. Luke DiPietro, the president's not happy. Every time we broadcast their game, they seem to go down.
Yeah, I know. He thinks that's a little bit of a jinx
Yes.
from the EDFL media. Big Lukey DiPietro. But this is going to be a cracking game. Two clubs that have had a great rivalry since Maribyrnong Park came into A-grade Premier Division in 2008. We always talk about the ex-Keilor boys, the model with Cello, Towner, Bailey and Buttigieg playing against their former clubs. Be a cracking game of football. McGuan's got them in great form at the moment. Their homegrowns, again, Papalia, Moore, James, Danny Cooper, all these guys. Look at Luke Livingston, bad injury for Maribyrnong Park last week. He'll be out for 2 or 3, hamstring.
Yep.
Massive loss. Will Marby Park have the goal kickers? D'Souza against his former club Keilor as well. It'll be a cracking game of football. But I think Marby playing for their top 4 will get a win in a close game. They always beat Keilor generally at their home ground.
Quote unquote, Matt Pelios going for Maribyrnong Park.
Great to be here.
Pencil that one in. All right, let's have a look at the Senior Division 1 results from last round. Let's just go through them.
Great round.
It was Northern Saints 12 points over Tullamarine. Only 1 goal scored after half time in that one.
Remarkable.
Airport West 86-point winners over Taylor's Lakes. The surprise one, Glenroy getting over West Coburg. Probably suited them at Shore Reserve. Nice in-close physical sort of game style. Suited their bigger body sort of players
good
down
call
there.
last week.
Shore Reserve, the 46ers as we like to call them now.
Yep. Clemo, a very happy man at the moment.
And Hadfield 11-point winners over West Meadows at Willowbrook Reserve.
Yep. Look, the one's Glenroy versus West Coburg. I think that's a massive win. West Coburg really have done not much wrong at all. Look, I suppose they may be going through a patch. They had the draw against Hadfield, but Hadfield are very impressive at the moment as well. But what a cracking game of footy that would have been. And I think that win for Glenroy, as good as the last month has been for Glenroy, is one of the biggest wins that they've had for a long time, probably since they've been back in B grade since 2010.
Yep.
Because I think now mentally they think they can mix it with the top 2 and 3 sides.
Mm-hmm. Now with Glenroy winning, much like Aberfeldy, they've probably sealed up 3rd spot in Division 1. It's 4th spot now where all the intrigue lies. Taylor's Lakes have the upper hand because they play West Meadows, Hadfield and Northern Saints in the last 3 rounds. Their percentage is superior to Hadfield, who sit in 5th spot, 2 points behind with that draw, of course, against West Coburg. And Hadfield's percentage is terrible to say the least, considering the context of the teams around them. Tullamarine's percentage, 1 behind them, 165.3, and they play Hadfield this week. It's going to be a huge game. Hadfield looking to get back a couple of their VFL stars.
Yeah, Sonshin. He's a great player, isn't he?
He's a jet.
You played juniors with him. Tell us a little bit about Dean Sonshin.
Well, he's played ones at Northern Blues this year, and I think he goes on the radar, especially the other Hadfield boys as well. Jake Polizzi is an absolute superstar, and Jack Wallace. And because they're just down at the lower class Hadfield Football Club, they don't get the recognition they deserve that probably some A-grade footballers who play VFL football get. So, I mean, there's A-grade clubs out there. You're definitely looking at these sort of kids because they're absolute superstars. But they need a win this week, Hadfield, if they're any chance of playing finals. Spoke to Rob Don today. They need a win. They need to win every game, but that does include Airport West last round.
If anyone's beaten them this year, it's been Hadfield Footy Club. Cracking game of footy this week. Hadfield for me will get the chocolates. Robbie Don, well done. Loves the Hadfield Footy Club. Does a great job. He's got the big Russian Tony Rossios and a bit of a crew helping him out there. But great to see the young Hadfield players that we spoke about in under 18 football 3 years ago just making such a presence in Division 1.
Taylor's Lakes, probably destiny in their own hand. They're in all likelihood the favourites to get 4th spot, and they play West Meadows at home this week.
Yeah, look, I think they'll get the chocolates here. They went down to the usual Airport West loss. 86 points is probably... Steve Burns wouldn't have been happy with that. He probably would have conceded maybe... no one concedes a loss, but 6 to 8 goals with the average Airport West win. But 86 points, he wouldn't have been happy, and he'll have his boys fired up this week.
Glenroy play Airport West. They're probably the form team in the competition. Absolutely, no doubt about it, the 46ers.
Yep.
Give them a sneaky chance here at Saul Reserve, but I get the feeling, though, the wide expanses at Saul might actually suit Airport West.
Yeah, look, and that's one thing I think Lance may have to look at with finals on the bigger grounds. He definitely, it's no secret he has got a physical side. Showed at Airport West... at West Coburg last week where they matched up really well with their physical strength. Airport West spread is so good, and they do have the physical players to go with them. Kenny on one end, the other side Lance Whitnell, 2 of the best forwards you'll see in any Division 1 or 2nd Division Metro Footy League in Victoria.
Alright, and the last game, West Coburg versus Northern Saints. Despite the win last week for Northern Saints, fair to say West Coburg was seething after the loss to Glenroy, and given some good conditions, could come out and get a big win.
Yeah, look, could be a cracking game of football. Two probably the most physical sides to running around in local footy. A lot of ex-players playing for Northern Saints who came from West Coburg. The Abdul Wads, Issa Talib. So there's always that sort of local rivalry that they all have. Great communities as well, and it's going to be a fantastic game of footy. Great to see Northern Saints back on the winning list. I think West Coburg will get the chocolates here, but it'll be a cracking game of football. No Basman 2 is going to hurt Northern.
No doubt about it. Let's just have a look at the Division 2 results from last week. East Keeler, 15 points over Hillside. You get the feeling though that the Sharks might not be too despondent with that, given that premierships aren't won in round 15, Matty Pilios.
Was that the Division 2 preview grand final, I asked you, MP Junior?
I think it will be, yes.
Good to see. Good response. Learning the great kid from the EDFL media.
Moonee Valley got over Keeler Park by 2 points. Keeler Park be absolutely disappointed with that because they play Roxburgh Park this week.
Yep.
Could have possibly snatched a top 4 berth if they had have won that. And the other one, Roxburgh Park, 95-point winners over the Jaggers down at Chicana.
Solid win by Roxy.
Good to see.
And well done to Moonee Valley as well. Big Leroy Spoil, I think kicked 4 or 5. Good big fella, the 32-year-old.
Yep, so this is the way the ladder looks. It's East Keeler now, a game clear of Hillside, and then it's Moonee Valley, 16 points, Roxburgh Park, 12 points. They play Keeler Park this week. They are a game and a little bit of percentage ahead of Keeler Park. So Keeler Park really need to win well this week against Roxburgh Park, get a bit of percentage. Roxburgh Park play it's either Hillside or East Keeler in the last round.
They were playing yesterday. Hillside,
and Keeler Park also have one of those two teams as well. So you get the feeling whoever's going to win this one and win it well might make finals.
Yeah, definitely. And Adam Papel may make a comeback for Keeler Park in a 2s there as well, which is fantastic. See, media person. Look, Roxburgh Park's improvements has been phenomenal. Keeler Park, their first 10 or 12 players are good, but they probably struggle in the lower end. But the improvement with Keeler Park and Roxburgh Park from an EDFL point of view has been wonderful to see.
It's been gradual over the season too.
Yeah,
they haven't plateaued. They've definitely improved.
And generally, most sides who are near the bottom taper off. So that's really positive signs, and probably will set them for a strong 2013. Both clubs will improve.
All right, that's all for the action last week and this coming week. Matty Pilios, been good to do business again. Don't forget facebook.com/EssendonDFL and Twitter @EDFLFooty. Operation 1000 is up and about.
Yep.
Had a lot of people join over the last week, so continue to do so.
Yep.
Don't forget EDFL TV.
Best of luck to all the clubs as well for the junior finals. Well done to all the volunteers, the clubs and the parents. And we wish all the junior players best of wishes in these final series coming up.
No Cosmopolitan model searches this week for you,
Matthew? No, mate. None this week. We'll be home with the family, and I'll be watching EDFL on Saturday and Sunday. But well done, MP Junior, and looking forward to a cracking round of footy in the EDFL.
No dramas. That's all we have time for. We shall catch you all next week.
Thank you.
MP.
Great to be here in the EDFL head offices.